Caroline Thomas's Rex story starts in the want ads. In 2008, just out of the Art Academy in Cincinnati with a degree in fine art painting, she answered a Craigslist ad. Help wanted, Mardi Gras float painter.
It was like, if you want to be an unsung hero of Carnival and to be overworked and underpaid, but be bringing beauty to the streets. And it was just like, of course, to like a 22-year-old, it's like catnip. You're like, yes.
Thomas answered the ad, became a float painter, and followed her passion for art, design, and Carnival. The job was posted by the late Randy Morrison, who at the time designed and built the Hermes Parade and became a mentor.
And he really instilled in me this idea that Carnival can be its own art form and that we should be trying to constantly push ourselves and be bringing it to that next level.
For Caroline Thomas, bringing Carnival to the next level often means returning to its past. After a few years working with Hermes, she became Rex's artistic director. There, she and other members of the team at Royal Artists work with a committee of Rex members to come up with the parade theme and designs for more than 24 original floats. It's fitting that for a parade founded in 1872, Thomas and the team at Royal Artists employ old-school techniques, building sculptures and float elements that begin as sketches she draws by hand.
I'm a little old-fashioned that way. Part of it is because they do go into the archives afterwards, and I think it's nice to have this like physical copy. But also, I come from a background as a float painter, and so for me, I want to have the act of physically painting it to make sure that I'm making something that is reasonable for the painters to actually implement. And I think there's something about that physicality that gets lost if you're just doing something digitally.
In addition to being a talented artist, Thomas is a student of Carnival history. It informs her work as designer for New Orleans' two oldest parades, Proteus and Rex.
I'm such a sucker for that era of art, you know, that late 19th century. I think it's just so beautiful. I mean, not that people can't draw and paint today, but it was an era where I think the level of craftsmanship from that era is so incredible.
Since 1910, many of the incredible craftsmen who built the Rex Parade have been guided by women. Caroline Thomas is the 5th female to serve as Rex's designer.
Caroline is unique, though, among all the women who've worked on Rex projects over the years. Caroline is the only artistic director in our history that I'm aware of who both designs these floats, prepares the sketches, and then actually comes to the den and makes these things happen, picks up a brush and executes her own sketches and turns those into these beautiful floats.
I think Rex, more than any parade, really puts the artist first, you know, and they prioritize that above any other components of the parade. And so I'm really grateful.
Carnival lovers can be grateful that Caroline Thomas's talents are on display each Mardi Gras. The Louisiana native who grew up going to parades as a child says designing Rex is a Carnival fantasy come to life.
I mean, it's a little wild in the sense that when I think about how this is something I've just been passionate for so long, and for years, like people would be like, well, you know, what's your end goal with this? Like, what's your dream? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe one day I'll like do the Rex Parade. And so it's just incredible to actually like, oh, that was actually a reasonable goal. So it's been a huge honor.